What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So the other day I went to the gun store, had a little conversation with a guy behind the counter. I've known him for a long time, but he was completely okay with people losing their right, and that automatically makes it a privilege. Try to explain it to him. He brought up a few things, and that's why I wanted to make a video. He brought up rapist. He said, well, a rapist doesn't have a right to bear arms if they get out of prison. I said, yeah, they do. I said, even though you might not agree with it, they still have the right, because no one can take the right away. Well, he stated, well, they forgo their right. I'm like, no, they didn't. What you have a problem is with the sentencing. What you have a problem is with the government not giving the victim the voice, In my opinion, the victim should have the say. If the victim's dead, then the family, the next of kin, the husband, whatever, they should make the decision. So what I do is when I'm like writing it out, I speak it on my phone and write it out like in a notepad, and then I actually write it down. And I might not go over every little point that I did, but more of like a speech. I asked him a question though, and that kind of got me into making this video. If rape was legal, would you do it? And he says, no, of course not. I said, of course, most people wouldn't. If a governor or a president right now said rape's legal, you can do it if you want to. There's no repercussions. Would rape increase? Maybe a little bit, because criminals would keep doing it, but they was probably doing it before the law was taken away. That's just the way it is. You have a moral code. And unfortunately, people tie in the sentencing with the right to bear arms. But someone that rapes still has the right to bear arms. The problem we have is with the sentencing, who controls the sentencing? The government. That's the problem we have, and we don't see that. What people don't understand, that the government really and truly shouldn't. The justice system, the court system, is all controlled by the government. We are told, well, if we're a jury member, we get to speak our mind and put our opinions out there to make a change. Bullshit. I don't believe that at all. If the community controlled the sentencing, the consequence would be whatever the victim decided the consequences would be. No one can ever take anyone's rights away. If someone rapes someone, the consequences for that would be what the victim said. In my opinion, it should be death. But that's not up to me. It's up to the victim. So the victim might just want a broken leg. The victim just might want an apology. The victim might want them shot in the face with a certain type of rifle. It shouldn't be up to government, because when government gets involved, you have a thing where people want to federal prison, for weed in some states. And, the ATF or the DEA all got involved, and they threw people in prison for just weed. It doesn't matter how much it was, but it doesn't really matter how much it was. It's just, they threw them in prison. But you have a true rapist or a true predator, and they walk a lot of times. The justice system ain't perfect. Why is that? Because the government controls them. I thought about this when he was talking about it. I don't think I said it to him, but for example, the shooter in Florida, Parkland, Florida, is still alive to this day. Why is he still alive? Because the government has him in custody? Because the government or the media is using him for political propaganda? Either one works for me. Put the family in a room, give them an hour to discuss their options. Whatever they choose for his punishment is the punishment. So I forget how many students was killed, but all the parents that lost a student should go in a room and should debate for an hour and come up with a punishment. It's probably going to be death. But after the punishment's done, if he's still alive, he has the right to bear arms. Government can't take it away. Government does not control free man. If they did, we would be slaves. So as of right now, I'm a free person. You're a free person. Right? If you're in prison, you're not free. If you walk out of prison, you're free. But the government says, hey, we give you permission to leave prison. We give you permission to go back with society. We trust you enough to go back in your society, you little freak. But you're not going to have certain rights. Doesn't make sense. That's government control. And why is that? Maybe because the felon's seen the system. Maybe because the felon, if he really had the ability to exercise his right, maybe he would stand up more to the government, and that's what they're scared of. I don't know. Government can never take anyone's right away. This is because government does not grant rights. God does. And I made a video about that the other day. Most Americans are completely brainwashed, believing the government can take people's rights away when it comes to a felon, as long as it doesn't affect them. They are completely okay with it. And that's true. When it comes to a felon, they're completely okay with it. But the felon they fear the most, he or she has the weapon that they want right now. So the felon that woke up this morning and wanted a certain type of gun, or certain type of weapon, baseball bat, knife, whatever it is, whatever they can't possess, they have it. Or they are going to get it tonight. Or tomorrow. They will get it. Criminals don't follow the laws. We've been saying that for years to the left. Criminals don't follow the law. You know? The problem I have with the felon and for example, Kyle Rittenhouse, that kid in Kenosha that defended his life, and we all should be 100% behind him. He was persecuted by the media, mainly by Moms Demand Action, very fast. White supremacist, domestic terrorist. For what? For defending his life. But according to the law, that one guy that got shot in the arm, he was never charged with anything, and he was a felon. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with his restriction, with the government's restriction on his right to bear arms. But if you want to go towards the law, that guy should be in prison, but he's not. He's not charged. He's not in prison. No one looks down on him except the domestic terrorists, white supremacists, people that back this kid, this serial killer kid. They use it for political reasons. Everything they do, every law they pass is a political game to them, just to get more control. And I think to confuse people. Most Republicans are completely brainwashed that the background system we use, the NICS checks, for gun purchases is not an infringement. This is because it usually does not affect them. And then you've seen what's happened in 2020 with all the riots and all the lockdowns. People started buying rifles. People started buying pistols, ammo, faster and faster and faster in these states like California. And this was just most Americans. People couldn't believe they had to wait 10 days in California. Wait a minute, we have to wait 10 days? What if I pay extra money? Whoa, can't do that. If I did that, I'd be, a criminal. They don't get it. The background check system violates people's right to bear arms. It violates the Second Amendment. It violates true freedom, and a lot of people are okay with that. My question is, do people want to be free? Some days I would say yes, people want to be free, and other days I look at them like, no, they don't want to be free. They want peaceful slavery. And eventually that peace is going to go away. And when it goes away, you're going to really wish that you had true freedom. Just look at Venezuela. You want to really be like that? Apparently most people are completely okay with some restrictions because it doesn't usually hurt them yet. What I do with my money is no one's business. I wish people would just leave other people alone. Everyone can live their life the way they choose to. If they fuck with people, they are going to face the consequence. But the consequence does not restrict your rights in any way. That should be very, very basic. Very basic. Rights are granted by God. You're born with rights. Government does not control you. You're a free person. Government should be very, very small and should be away from me. And, in my opinion, what government, their job is to go to Congress or the Senate, once a year to pass laws, which they're 300 days out of the year, if not probably 250, 300 days out of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if they're there 300. It's 365 a year. Yeah, they're probably over 300. They should really help the infrastructure. Most people would say infrastructure is a big deal that government should do. And also foreign invasion. And I think the biggest thing right now is, of course, paying attention to China and North Korea, but the border. We should have that. And we really should, Border Patrol's, I guess, a cop, but they really should be like a military kind of thing. We should control the border. We should make sure no one comes in here crazy. Forget that movie. Was it Act of Valor? That the movie where the people try to come in over the Mexican border, suicide bombers. Very good movie. We should. That's what the government needs to do. But unfortunately, they want to restrict me in your right to do anything. And if you haven't seen that last year and part of this year, you're completely need help. Oh, last thing. I want to make sure everyone knows that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is a restriction on government. It's a restriction. All these 2A bills, all these Constitution carry bills, they don't promote true freedom. They don't do anything to help you or me. Nothing. At all. They don't. But people still support them, unfortunately. Because they think that the Constitution, they think the Bill of Rights, mainly the Second Amendment, they think that if that was taken away, you will lose your ability to be free. And when in actuality, if you take the time to actually study it, these documents that we claim to support, and a lot of people don't know what they are about, I was in that boat for a little while, are a restriction on governments. Government cannot impede on your freedoms, but they do every day because of two reasons. One, we don't have enough people to stand up. If I stand up by myself, and maybe a few people behind me, it wouldn't be enough. If 1 million people stood up all at the same time, it might be enough. But, in one state, one county, whatever you want to say, 50 million people, everyone that voted for Trump, everyone voted for Jorgensen, everyone that just said fuck the government, all of them just stood up for one day and agreed that the government doesn't control us. We could be free, but we don't do that because we can't agree even to do that. We disagree over every little fucking thing. It's just ridiculous. Government cannot take your rights. Even if you're a 10-time felon, you're still a free person. If you go to prison, again, I don't agree with how the justice system is. I don't believe in the courts anymore. They are a complete scam. But if you go to prison for 10 years and you step out, you should be able, and you are able, if you're a free person, if they let you out because they believe you're rehabilitated, you have the right to bear arms. So you can go right from that prison, that bus stop, and go buy a shotgun. Go buy a rifle, pistol, whatever you want to do. You're free. You're free to do what you want to do. If you're okay with some government control, some types of restrictions on guns, or any right for that matter, you really need to take the time to get educated and might need to see a psychologist. Sincerely, Nelson Militia. I can't believe that so many people want to be controlled by the government. It's unreal. It really is. I've been talking to him the past 3 months. Unless he's working, like actually selling a gun or busy, I don't say anything. But if he's just, no one's there behind the gun counter because usually there's only one back there, I will say something. Another day, he brought that up, not me. He brought the rapist up. So we started talking about that. And I asked him, I said, if your sister was raped and you could do something about it, what would you do? I said, would you kill him? He said, yeah, probably. I said, okay, problem solved. There's the punishment. You see, what they do is they take the punishment and the right and they think it's intertwined. Wait a minute, if I kill him, he doesn't have the right. Well, that's the punishment. That's what you said. If you just broke his kneecap, and that was the only thing you wanted to do, and you just beat him to hell, after he gets out of the hospital, he can go buy whatever gun he wants. Full automatic. He's a free person. Government does not control us. It's time to take off the fucking Republican shackles and tell the government to piss off and mind our own business. And right now, tomorrow will be Memorial Day. So today people are probably partying. The neighbors usually have a party and they're apparently not doing it because of, the virus in the air. But I wish they was, because they can cook some damn food. She can cook some fish. I love fish. They did barbecue last 2 Christmases ago for a Christmas party over there, barbecue. We went over there right when they was taking it off the thing. Oh my God. Awesome barbecue. I love barbecue. Love all that southern food. Anyway, Memorial Day, they're going to have DUI checkpoints. Most people think DUI checkpoints are completely okay. But I can tell you right now, if I'm going to ever go through a DUI checkpoint again, I will disagree with it. I will turn my phone on and I will disagree with showing my ID very quickly. I will ask the question, is there a law stating I have to show my ID? Am I being detained? Am I being arrested? No, I'm not trying to be a dick. I just want to be left alone. I was told by a cop, probably when I was 18. I was 18 or 19. I was probably 18. I was told by a cop that I couldn't have any pistol in my vehicle until I was 21. I disagreed with that. When you look at the state law, doesn't say anything against it. And this cop he's the chief of police now, but he was a highway patrol officer for a long time. You ask cops questions, they just don't know the law. And they don't know what true freedom is, even if I'm a Republican, so I promote true freedom. Bullshit. It's time to take the shackles off, guys. Time to tell the government to piss off and just leave us alone. I'm not going to hurt anyone. I was going to go to Scrapyard tomorrow, but it's closed because Memorial Day. I kind of forgot about that, but got all that stuff. I will probably have over 1,000 pounds of steel next time I go. I'm going to have to load everything up and just clean it off. Been going through it today. Been working hard. So, you guys have a great day. Try to stay free as possible. Stay armed. And if you disagree with me, put it down in the comments. I love talking to people. Have a great day.